Good evening, I am Barry Leibowitz, and this is NSL. I am replacing last week's host, Eric, who is left on the studio's first annual Wild Goose Chase. We begin our first story with the news television program titled Fake News, altering its name into NSL. We will have more information about the name change and if it will remain this new title as time and ratings report progress. Canada will soon open its doors for legal marijuana. Over 100 shops are already planned to open once this new law is passed. I'm just getting word that spring break has been moved from Miami to Toronto. Now Canadians will have a new reason to apologize. Their restaurants will always be out of poutine. Now moving south of the border into the U.S., the New Mexican government is coming into question with their famous Area 51. From an aerial shot taken above the territory, Area 51 has extraterrestrial features, giving it the appearance of an alien. So contrary to what people have thought for years, that Area 51 is a container for aliens, this could be wrong, but not too far off. Instead of being a site to hold aliens, people are suspecting that Area 51 is an alien. We'll have more on this conspiracy as it progresses. The communication department has gotten new t-shirts, which are both comfortable and fashionable. The designs I made weren't used, but I'm fine with that. China built a bridge. The Great Bridge of China is 34.2 miles long, and it leads from Zhuhai to Hong Kong, which is pretty good. The bridge is built above water until it submerges into a tunnel below sea level. Technically, that shouldn't qualify as a bridge, but what am I, the bridge police? A 6-year-old from Arizona invited 32 other classmates to his birthday party, and none of them showed up. How did you guys find out about my 6th birthday party? A man in upstate New York was recently hospitalized after consuming raw squirrel brains. He died in the hospital soon after. Apparently, these events are unrelated. Really? I'd like to be serious for a moment. A man who I aspire to be, a man who I and many numerous other single teenagers admire, Dennis Hoff, brothel owner, has passed. I would like to take a moment of silence, please. He was running for state assembly, where he and his many lovely female campaign workers blew the voters away. They were so dedicated to the job, they would bend over backwards to get into office. Sources close to the candidate say that the primary was very hard. Fought. Next, I will speak with a hero of the community when we get back. Stay tuned.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to fix the sink. Hey, could you hand me a wrench?
We don't have any wrenches.
No wrench? I'll have to call the mechanic then.
It's gonna cost you. Keep the code.
Man, with that much money, I could have bought 10 wrenches.
That's what you should have done.
You're right.
Local superhero Jackson is here with us to shed light on his latest act of heroism, saving a group of children from a burning museum. Thanks for being here, Jackson.
Thanks for having me, Barry.
So for the viewers at home, what is your power set?
It's kind of complicated. I have frogs inside of me, in my stomach, and when I need to solve crime, they come out and save the day.
How did you get these powers?
Veganism, doing squats.
Do you have a superhero identity other than your name?
Yeah, Superman. It's kind of a work in progress, but I think we decided on Superman.
You are aware that's been a registered trademark for almost 80 years.
What do you mean, man? What are you talking about?
The comic book character Superman, created in the 30s, you know, last baby of an exploding planet sent to Earth. Truth, justice, the American way.
Yeah, that's funny, Barry, but I mean, there's too many pranksters out there nowadays. Like, I'm not just gonna believe that, but we're gonna stick with it.
So tell us about this museum you saved.
Yeah, it was on fire. Kids everywhere. I showed up, I think 2 or 3 days after it was on fire to save the day.
It was still on fire 3 days later.
A little bit, yeah.
And the children were still within it?
I mean, what was left?
So you didn't save anyone, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, when you put it that way. I mean, I'm sure I saved someone.
What set you aside from other heroes who help the community?
Jeez, well, what do you mean by that, Barry?
Well, I mean, what sets you apart from them? You know, anyone can put on a cape and a pair of spandex and claim they're helping people, but what specifically sets you apart from people who, you know, get there on time, have more rounded power sets, are generally helpful?
Yeah, I've heard enough, Barry. See, I do my part. I save people. What do you do?
I inform the people about information they might wish to know.
Yeah.
So I hear you have a book coming out.
Yep, I do.
Yeah, I actually took a chance to read it. It's a very well-written book.
Thanks.
I'm quite impressed. So I was reading, and there's one chapter where you discuss a former girlfriend who encouraged you to go into, I believe it was in your high school years.
Yes.
A former girlfriend who encouraged you to use your powers for the greater good.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I quite like the end of the chapter when you described in detail the very rough breakup and how much it traumatized you.
Yeah. Hey, how many years were you single in high school, Belle?
4. So anyway, I was looking through the book, some other sections, and I'm sorry, there's nothing in here about the people you don't save by getting there late. Don't you think they deserve a little, you know, a saying or two?
Yeah, that chapter's not one of my favorites. I think the one I prefer is when I beat your mom. Yeah, chapter 20. I know you read it.
Excuse me?
Yeah. You heard me, Barry. You heard me.
Listen here. You have been putting on a pair of tights for maybe a month now. I have been a serious broadcaster for almost 20 minutes, and I have never had to deal with someone so disrespect. You know what? Where is the producer? Seth? Deal. I'm such an ignorant.
Chill, man. More in the news, singer Ariana Grande and comedian Pete Davidson have canceled their engagement. Davidson called it off after the pop star licked his donut. He said he had to break free from their relationship. That will be it for the news. I'm Superman, and we'll see you next time on NSL.